Today, I am joined by Deena Ebbert with the Fish Philosophy. Good morning, Deena.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am full of yay and super excited and really looking forward to our conversation, Tori. I've been having so much fun getting ready for this with you, and now today is the day. So
It's here. I'm
let's
super
dive
excited.
in.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Our topic for today is called Catch the Energy and Release the Potential. And I just love this topic. As soon as you sent it over to me, I was like, I love this. I can't wait to talk about it. It's so cool. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it, Deena. Do you
Right
want to
on.
start introducing yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Deena Ebbert. I'm also known as Propeller Girl, and I am the international brand ambassador for the fish philosophy. So for 16 years now, I have been taking the fish philosophy around the world. A relatively large territory. I handle North and South America, China, Japan, and the West Indies. So I get around. And what we do is look for ways to create all kinds of fantastic, exciting engagement in the workplace. And, not just in work, but in our whole lives with fish.
Very cool. And just a little background on fish. It started in a fish market.
It did. So the inspiration for the fish philosophy is a fish market out in Seattle. It's called Pike Place Fish. And you might know it as the heart of Pike Place Market. And it's a fish market. Like a lot of us, it had pretty humble beginnings, but really what it grew into was an environment where the people who work there have each other's back. They like what they do. They like that interaction, that teamwork, that sense of fresh engagement. And the way they were showing up for work was so inspiring that our company, Chart House Learning, we created a film about them. John Christensen, who is our senior filmmaker and playground director of everything that we do at Chart House. They all have goofy titles. He's our playground director. He saw them in action out in Seattle, and he said, "Hey, you guys are different, amazing, wonderful, inspiring. Can I make a movie of you?" And they said, "Yes, we've been waiting for you, so let's do it." So John made a film of them called The Fish Philosophy, and it turned into a book, and it turned into conversations, and it was translated in all different languages. It's become a worldwide phenomenon.
We have people commenting saying, Deena is live. Come check it out. People love you.
It was probably my brother.
Yeah, I've been so excited about this broadcast. I just can't wait for everyone to watch this too. So I know fish has 4 practices. What are those 4 practices? And then we'll kind of go into each one.
Yep, they're 4 practices, and they can be done in any order. But they're, today, for just purposes of this conversation, they're play, make their day, be there, and choose your attitude. And those 4 practices really create this interesting way of being that it's just terrifically fresh and super engaging, and it makes it a lot easier, quite frankly, to be a human.
Okay, well, I'm excited to learn all about it. I know play is about teamwork, creativity, trust. How can it show up in different workplaces throughout the years?
That's a good, thank you. I like that question, because one of the interesting things for me is people say, well, it started in a fish market, but how do I translate that into my business? Because I don't work in a fish market. Maybe I'm in a hospital, or maybe I'm in an educator, or maybe I work in manufacturing. Maybe I'm in real estate. How do I translate that into my world? And one of the things for me that's fun is I'm kind of the decoder ring for fish. And so helping people translate that, really what it means is having some fresh perspective, looking at the work that you do and finding ways to shift your angle. One of the most creative things that I've seen is I have a group they work in a biomedical environment where everybody wears those white bunny suits, and they're working with, they're actually creating science.
Yeah.
And so we've got these clean rooms where they have to take off, all their makeup and all their hair stuff, and they have to put on these white poofy bunny suits and go through the chamber where they get all the rubby stuff from the day.
Yeah.
And then they have to go inside, and they move very, very slowly and very, very precisely, because they're dealing with really specific biomedical science. So there's not a lot of goofing around when you're in a science lab like that. But what they did was on the outside of their lab, everyone created a biography with a cute caricature and fun facts so you could walk past the lab and learn about somebody even though they're on the other side of the glass. Like today, Rebecca's on the other side of the glass from you. Mm-hmm. And so I know she's there because she's probably watching today. And so this, there would be a bio of Rebecca. There she is. Hi, Rebecca. There'd be a bio of Rebecca on this side. So when we walk past, we get to know a little bit more about her.
Okay.
Play lets people find really creative ways to make interesting connections. There she is. She knows we're talking about her. And what it also is, it's also really strongly, it's about inclusivity. It's about making everybody feel comfortable participating in the experience, even when they're from a distance. Like, you're fantastic at that. You are in your location, I'm in my location, we're across the country from each other, but you've made it really playful because you've made it very easy for me to interact and enjoy and have fun. Play is also about trying new things. If we're good at it and it works, we keep doing it. If we try it and we fail, we take a step back and figure out what we've learned so that it's that constant development.
Conversation with you is so easy too. I feel like that might be, I don't know, maybe not, maybe it's not your favorite one, but I feel like you really live by that. Our first conversation we had was like 30 minutes long, and it was just this like chit chatting, like we had known each other for years. And we've been talking for 2 months, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we're best friends, whether you like it or not.
I do like it, and that's why I was so excited. Like, today's the day, because we've been getting ready for it. And I think one of the fun things that you did that was super interesting about Play is you had a curiosity about me before I even met you. And so you being interested in me and curious about me helped me be interested in you and curious about you. So before we even talked, and I think this is a really interesting tip for Play, because one of the things that, my goal for our conversation today is that the people who are watching, I love that you at Allison James are so interested in providing continuing education for folks. And so the goal is, while we're, hanging out and talking, is that people can go, oh, that's what they said that I could do. So here's something that I think you and I did that really was playful. Before we talked on the phone, we stalked each other on the internet. Like, yeah. We went out, we did, in the nicest possible way. It wasn't creepy at all. You went out to LinkedIn, and I went out to LinkedIn, and we did a little bit of research on each other. So it was an already very friendly interaction the first time, and we didn't have to get over that initial bump of not knowing each other. So I think, for people who wonder, how can I make Play part of my everyday experience, is to just be really curious about people. If it's like us and we're interacting from a distance, then we're curious from each other from a distance, and we find out, what are your skills? How long have you been in your industry? What do you like to do? What's important to you? Let me be interested in you. But, if you're in the same environment and you want to figure out, how do I discover someone? Honestly, it's as easy as asking someone out to coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just sit down with them and listen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to build that relationship before working with someone. And like you said, it's curious, not creepy, right?
Exactly.
Not creepy. That's the new words to live by. I like it. Taking it and running with it. So the next one, we have make their day. What are some ways people engage in the make their day portion of this?
I really like the make their day piece. I think for a lot of people, when they're looking initially at the fish philosophy, they're thinking, oh, it's customer service. We are going to make their day. And I think a lot of us are in the customer service world. So we're always looking at, how can we do that? I fine-tune that language just a little bit, and I don't always call it make their day as often as I call it make a difference.
Okay.
Because it's a little thing that you can do that makes a big difference for someone else. So maybe it's a smile, maybe it's saying hi to someone in the hallway, maybe it's holding the door open for someone. As a matter of fact, like, if you think in the last week or two, did somebody do something unexpected for you and really cool that made you feel noticed or acknowledged? Did somebody do something that made your day?
Actually, yeah. The first thing that comes to mind, we had an event on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, just trying to make sure everything was good, organized. And one of our agents just stopped me. And she said, Tori, I just want to let you know that you're really good at your job. And I said, oh, thank you. And she said, no, seriously, you're really good at what you do. And it made my day. That's exactly what it did. And that's the first thing that comes to mind when you ask me that question. So.
And you remember that moment, and you remember that agent, right?
And it took her, what was it, 15 seconds out of her day, and she made my day.
And it was last Saturday.
It was 3 days ago.
And you're still thinking about it today.
Yeah, I am.
And I think that's the power of Make Their Day. And especially, one of the things that people ask me is, well, how do I do it? Because I can't always be going around, holding doors open for people because I have other things going on. Sometimes Make Their Day is that really specific praise. So if you see somebody and you know that they're doing something really, really well, and it strikes you, hey, you know what? I should probably tell them. I should tell them. Like last night, I was working with someone. They had a particularly difficult situation come through. We spent some time on the phone. They came up with a solution, and then they ran with it. And I got off the phone with them, and I thought, you know what? That was really good. Like their solution that they came up with was way better than the one that I would have recommended. So about 10 minutes later, I called them back and I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that was mighty and awesome and elegant. And you did a really great job with that solution. And just that little circle back made them feel really good. So when people wonder, well, what can I do? Specific praise really works. And it works both for coworkers like you and the agent that you were with last Saturday, but also for people who are watching who have kids or no kids, or there's kids down the street. It's back to school right now. And one of the things that you can do is get that little specific burst of praise, that pat on the back, that good job, that gold star, and tell you what, kids really flourish, because it's really what we're driving towards is it's respect.
Mm-hmm.
Make Their Day is about showing people that you respect them. So I have a question for you. Respect shows up a lot of different ways. It's like, it's how you address people, you acknowledge, you notice them, it's eye contact, it's tone of voice, it's body language. Tori, do you have a favorite way that you like respect coming at you?
Coming at me? Mm-hmm. I like to be thanked. Honestly, just a simple thank you can go a long way. And it's quick, whether it's a note, whether it's an email, whether it's in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like just me after, I'm going to tell you thank you for your time. And that, to me, is respect. And that's what I appreciate.
Absolutely. So when people are saying, what am I supposed to do? What do I do? Thank people. And sometimes that's in person. Sometimes that's an email. Sometimes that's a handwritten note. Super powerful stuff. Well, that's Make Their Day.
It's simple. Simple.
It is. It's so easy. Why we wouldn't just do it all the time every day? It boggles the mind, which is kind of how I live, which is why I'm so ridiculously happy.
That's why you're so passionate about what you do.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's easy.
So we've done play, we've done Make Their Day. Yep. Next one is Be There. How is Be There so impactful in today's world?
Here's what I really dig about Be There. And sometimes I think Be There doesn't get as much notice as it requires because our world is so gosh darn busy. Mm-hmm. We're all being pulled a bunch of different directions. Here's what I really like about Be There. It's about mindfulness. If you can slow down just a little bit, and instead of trying to constantly multitask and manage everything, be in the moment. Like right now, Tori, this is our time, you and me. I know we've got comments, we'll get to those in a minute, but right now, this is our time together. And being really present with the person that you're engaged with, it's a feeling that it creates such a sense of satisfaction and self-worth. The other thing is, Be There is a good lesson to have for yourself. So these days, when people ask me, how can I be there for others? Well, it's just being about being learning, being curious, being interested. But also in that sense of mindfulness, take a little bit of time for yourself. Sometimes being there means slowing down a little bit, going for a walk, sitting down and having, just breathing deeply. Maybe do a little meditation. It will smooth out a lot of the bumps in your day if you take a few moments to be with the people that you're with, but also be with yourself too.
I want to bring something up now that you're pointing this out to just calm down and be there. About a week ago, Deena and I got on a call to do a test call, and she was having so much trouble with her computer, so much trouble. And she goes, we're on the phone, and she goes, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to turn around 3 times, and sit back down. And that was your way of just kind of calming down, right? And and it was just so simple.
That's why I want to be there piece. It's a reset. Sometimes you just go, oh, I got to stand up. I think I said I was going to stand up, turn around 3 times, and spit over my left shoulder. I think that's what I did.
Oh, I love that part out. I like that part.
You can start over anytime. If you think your day is going sideways, you can start over anytime and fix it. And be there is a great way to do that. Be there is also where I see a lot of the leadership conversations coming up. So, one of the ways to be there is, again, it's a lot like a play piece. Go invite somebody to coffee. Sit down with them. Be curious. Be interested. But practice listening to them. You will learn something.
I like it. I really like that one. Like you said, it doesn't seem like the most. You said it feels left out sometimes, but it's very important. I hope people can see that. So moving on to the next one, last one.
Okay.
So I heard someone told me that you're a huge Choose Your Attitude fan. Why is that?
I love it. I said this the other week. Choose Your Attitude is like Kevlar armor against a bad day. Like if you're looking at your day, like today I'm looking outside and it's super rainy today, and if your day is rainy or your attitude is rainy or your calendar is rainy or you're feeling like you got the blues, you can fix that. Choose Your Attitude. It is exactly what it says. You decide proactively, predictively, in advance what your state of mind is going to be. If you decide in advance before your day rolls out that, like today's going to be yay, or today I'm going to be focused, or in this meeting I'm going to be helpful, or I'm going to be attentive, you have so much more control. And for those of us who are control freaks, all the control freaks, wave your hands up in the air, okay? This gives you so much mastery over yourself, over your day, so you don't get like shanghaied by your feelings. So I'm going to ask you a question. Like Tori, if you could choose, I love this. I think people will want to know. If you could choose any attitude today, like for right now, for the rest of the day, that would successfully serve you and also have a positive, powerful impact on other people, what attitude would you choose?
I think something that I choose often, actually, and something I need to work on daily is patience. I need to learn not to have patience with myself, patience with my computer if it's running slow, patience with just people in general. It's just it's something I need to work on, but I feel like it's something that almost everyone can. But patience would be my choice, and not just today. I think every day I would choose patience.
Right on. It's one of the most powerful things you can do. So for me, what it does is it creates resilience, because you've made a decision in advance that you're going to be a particular way. And then you start to build up that skill set. But sometimes you need help. So for people, like you've got patience, and I don't know, what are you going to do? Like sometimes if I'll take a Sharpie and I'll write something on my arm. But usually I write little lists of attitudes. And these are a bunch that I have. I usually write a list every week. This is my list this week, because it's back to school. So I'm all about A+++, back to school. But, some weeks I'll work on happy. One week I decided to work on, I said I'm full of it. So I picked all attitudes that ended in full. So I was colorful, wonderful, respectful, peaceful, grateful, mindful. So you can have fun with it. And then put this little list in your pocket. And if you get stuck and you feel like, your day is kind of running away with you, just get the list out of your pocket and here's my attitude, I've got it, or write it on your own Sharpie.
Yeah, we actually did something like that. We all got bracelets about a year ago for a few of the girls in the corporate office, and we all picked basically an attitude that we were going to live by for the year. And so I actually have a bracelet, and it says patience on it. So
your patience? Perfect.
Yes. So
it's
not the one I'm wearing, but I have one that says patience. So sometimes, and I have it right on my desk. So sometimes I just look down and I see it. Patience. Okay, Tori.
It's a good reminder, and it works.
And it can be anything. There's so many different attitudes you can choose from. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, look at your list. There's about 10 of those. So
the world is full of attitude. You should choose a good one.
Yeah, choose the good ones. So you have a quote. It's, who are you being while you're doing what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
I love this quote. It's one that comes up again and again in the fish philosophy conversations. We think about who we're being while we're doing what we're doing. If we go back to the film, one of the guys says, are you being, wow, this is a lousy, stinking job? Or are you being world famous? Because it's better to be world famous. So you get to do that. So while we're doing whatever it is that we're doing, we can make that conscious, active decision to be the best, to be engaged, to be world famous, to be compassionate, to, bring the absolute full richness of what we've got. Because we're here right now.
Yeah.
We should get it and do it. And that's really what that means.
I really like it.
I think that, brings all four of the practices together very nicely.
Oh, it definitely does. Well, I had fun today. What about you?
I had a blast. I think we should do this all the time.
All the time, every day? No, that's too much.
So maybe regularly.
I will have to.
Date? Deal. Okay. High five on that. That's good.
Do you have any last minute words that you just want to, I know we kind of wrapped it up with that last quote, but anything last minute that you just want to kind of throw out there to our agents to help them in their everyday entrepreneurship?
Yeah. I was thinking about this because I got my real estate license when I was 18, and I'm, from a real estate family. And so the industry is very, very near and dear to my heart. And I believe that real estate really requires us to be very passionate about what we do, because it's a fast-paced environment. It's always, always changing, and compassionate for the people that we serve. Because people are having a lot of feelings when they're moving or shifting from one place to another. But for me, when I'm looking at it, real estate is a place where, gosh, you can play these days. Because there's so many creative ways to look at interacting with the marketplace. And the one thing that I would say is do everything that you can to be in community with the other people in your community. Like what you're doing with Alice and James today, creating chances for people to connect, to learn together. We are much stronger together than we are individually. And we're not meant to do this alone. So my word of wisdom would be go out with your peers, whether that you're in the same city or like we are from a distance, and spend as much time collaborating as you possibly can, because it just makes the entire industry better and then more fun for the people that we serve.
Always. And speaking of fun, this was a great time. And I thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with us and share your philosophy with our agents. So let me just scroll through here and see if we got any comments.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying hi. We have one comment. One of the most successful salespeople I know had a rough childhood. We learned early on to choose to be happy. It's your choice. Which way are you going to go? I love that.
That's beautiful.
I do like that. Thank you, John, for sharing that. I think that's a great way to close it.
Right on. Thank you, Tori. You have been such a fantastic hostess and setting things up in advance. And then, today, it's not just a Facebook Live. I feel like I've made a friend. So I'm very, very grateful to you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this as much as me and Deena did. I know we had a blast. So hopefully you had a blast listening to us just chit-chat back and forth like the new best friends we are. It's a good one. Well, thank you, Deena, so much for joining us today, and we will have you back again in the future.
Yay! I'm for it. Right on.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Deena, for taking time out of your day to speak to all of us. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.